Hey everybody, welcome back to another MTG Basics podcast. I am
Welcome.
Jonah, known as JCat.
My name is Joseph, or Pigeon.
We're in a different environment here. We've not done this before. It's a little different. So we're trying something new. Trying to figure out a way to get more podcasts out to you guys that is sustainable for everybody in our crew. Do not worry, everything is still intact. Rules, lovely podcast studio is still available to us. We just want to start cranking these things out for you guys. This gives us another alternative to do so. So
exactly. Doing it also maybe on the go when we're ever at tournaments or just like traveling for other events, things like that.
Exactly.
Just so we have another outlet.
And the third reason is going to be guests. We have guests that we want to have on that cannot come in from out of state. Doesn't make sense financially, but we can have them on this podcast through video. And so this is going to be a great test run. I'm excited to see how much more opportunities this gives us. So guess we'll just
let us know feedback if anything's weird or funky first, but then let's get into
absolutely. Lots of feedback. Drop them in the comments. Let us know. I am piloting the computer, so if anything is awry, please tell me. It's all my fault.
It's not me.
So let's get into it.
What was that first big tournament win this month you had, Jonah?
First one.
At Enchanted Grounds?
Yep, Enchanted Grounds, 1K. I think it was a Tundra and some cash on top, so it was a little more than a 1K actually. That was really cool. But yeah,
it scaled up with more people.
It did, yeah. It was a good tournament. I've been going to these Enchanted Ground tournaments monthly. This is the third one I've been to and the third finals I've been to. The other two times I did not pull off the win, and so this time I was able to. Funny enough, I think I was like, it was top 13 cut, and I think I was 12th coming into this. And so it was just funny to come from behind and win this one. Because the other ones I had been in the higher seeds to play into the finals. So it was a good win. The finals game was just rough. It was so hard. I did play Blue Farm. I guess that's important. I've been playing Kennen, switch back to Blue Farm. Just kind of change it up. I know a lot of people have been starting to recognize me the last couple months in terms of like play patterns, and I wanted to switch it up. Didn't want to
give them some spice.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't want them to know. I mean, it wasn't that much of a surprise. I played Blue Farm for like 2 years, so the deck was nice. I think I did need a break from it. When I first tried playing this after the bans, I was really struggling to like get away from my Dockside lines. And so it was really hard for me to kind of get in the mindset of how to play the deck. And then, I played Kennen for a while, picked up the deck this week, or, 2 weekends ago, I guess. And it was just perfect. Exactly what I needed. So
I know you had talked about it a little bit in the past, but like how it was feeling and how you wanted to like change around the deck of Blue Farm, and then like, hey, you know what? Just let's do it. Let's just move over.
Yeah,
let's just move over and try something different.
I did. I wound up just playing like pretty much Evan Freedom Waffle and I have had similar Blue Farm lists for like probably a year and a half now. I've mostly been, copying him and changing some stuff. Jason Doan got me on Cavern of Souls. I would never cut that card. My playstyle has played into that. No, I can get a Ranger or Grand Abolisher down uncounterable. And so, it was a good tournament, but I have been really wanting though to cook Blue Farm, and just spice it up a little. I haven't really had the time to do that. I feel like I've been playing a lot of tournaments, but something about, I think I keep telling you Cavern Horde Dragon, with how many artifact decks I'm playing against seems kind of good, but that card has such a low floor, it could be super stinky.
It's so spice, but like it's also 8 mana if not.
It could only cost cheaper, 2 red.
Even just 3 cheaper.
Yeah, even 3 cheaper though. I don't know.
But one opponent has to have them all, I believe.
I think so.
It's not like total artifacts on board. Yeah, it's definitely spice.
It is spice. Some other cards. I think I also told you about like a no counter spell, or like the only things I have are split second interaction. So it's just like
Yeah. Funky.
stuff, just so that card quality can go up. And then I just feel like the mid-range games are so long that people have enough counters at this point. If I need to interact, it'll just be stopping the stack.
Listen, I'm starting to be known as a split second guy with the Sudden Sub and the Vat stuff, so it's like I'm not against those.
Yeah.
I just think Cavern Horn's a little spice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I didn't play it in this tournament, but
True.
I think it's gonna stay in the bin. But yeah, so I guess moving on, this last weekend there was the Only Flubs tournament. I guess I'll just start with
hosted by both Too Deep and
Blight Club.
I
Yeah,
believe. Yep.
Super great people. Everybody was so nice. Shout out to Jose and Miguel. Sorry if I messed up your name, but it's been a couple days. But yeah, they were so nice. One of the funnest tournaments I've ever been to. So it was
stipulation, just so you know, everyone has to have commander of Flubs.
Yep.
Whatever's in your deck doesn't matter, but your commander has to be Flubs.
Yep. So commander has to be Flubs. It was at a bar in Fort Collins called the Gilded Goat. Everybody flew in. I think there were more people from out of town than from in town. A lot of people. And so there was a comedian there. Freedom Waffle was there. A lot of Santa Fe people, San Antonio people from Blight clubs from other areas. And it was
a lot of New Mexico locals.
Yep, New Mexico locals. But it was a ton of fun. It was kind of interesting to see everybody had an even playing ground and to see like where their creativity came in terms of like deck lists.
Exactly.
And what they chose to play, what they chose to do. And that was really cool to see. So I think getting into
I think one of the biggest things was like a lot of people were either like, oh, I'm turbo or I'm stacks, and there was no real in between. It was like just one of the two. It's like you're either having fun or you're making everybody else not have fun.
Yeah, immediately game one, I sat down and there was a Revelon or Redalon.
Eidolon or Redalic?
Yeah, I think so. It's the whenever you cast a spell, you do 6 damage to yourself.
Rurik Thought?
Yep, thank you. My magic knowledge is 0.
Holy
unless
crap.
I play the deck. But yeah.
It's a 6-drop, isn't it?
It was.
What?
Yeah, it was. They cheated it out.
Oh my god.
I think a Nature's Order. That's a green card, right?
Oh, the green one. You sack a green creature, you put a green creature in a play?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I let that one resolve, and that was a mistake. I didn't run many counters, but I had one in hand for that, and I was like, surely this couldn't be that.
It's just a green creature.
It's a Flubs deck. Like, what are we going to do with that? And then, I think I won that game with 2 life. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough. There was a Mana Barbs and a Magebane Lizard. It was rough. But yeah, so got through that one. But yeah, it was a fun event. Made it to the finals. I've got a sweet picture here.
Oh yeah.
Ken Bauman, the original Flubs chef is what I would call them. Cooked up the Turbo Flubs list. That's actually what most people, I would say half the people played, because there were full proxy decks that people were able to borrow for the tournament, which was super cool. So if you didn't even have all the cards or Flubs, you could just show up, pay entry, and play. But yeah,
they gave you a proxy deck that with all the funny arts they use in their decks.
Yeah,
and just like a stock list basically. It was pretty cool.
It was so cool. I wish more tournaments would have decks for like newer people to play, like proxy decks,
like a stock basic list.
Yeah, like a stock Blue Farm list or a stock Kennen list or something. Because sometimes people show up to tournaments, and they don't have everything. That they need to
or they lose their deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Deck, something like that.
Weird stuff that happens, and I think it's a great idea to give people the option. I think they had a rule where if you like took the deck home, they charged you money for it or something. Which makes sense. I'm only saying that if a tournament does try this, that seemed fair. But yeah, it was super cool. So Ken got first, I got second. I'm not sure. I think Ian got third, and then Enrique got fourth. But it was fun. I mean, I think most of the day, all these smiles were genuine. It was just laughing the whole time. People were so funny. I think Critical EDH recorded the game, so hopefully that'll be out soon.
Hell yeah. The top 4?
Yeah, the top 4 games. So it was
awesome.
It was really funny. And so yeah, it was a great.
It also seemed like everyone there was having fun. It's in a brewery, right? It wasn't just like another tournament where you're just like, oh yeah, we're at a venue, you know, we're having fun. Maybe you have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, we had like, you probably had like drinks after.
Well,
and like,
yeah, I mean, it was so,
you know?
they had the bar open at like 9 a.m. when everybody got there. It was
God.
fun. Yeah, it was.
Are we pre-gaming the tournament right now?
We were pre-gaming and pre-sleeving. All those proxy decks had to be sleeved up. So yeah, it was a great time. So I would absolutely recommend somebody do. This was specifically their Black Velvet tournament, which meant that there was like a funny one or like a special theme. I 100% recommend for the next one that people try to go to it or see what it's about. So I think they said it might be New Orleans next time, and I will 100% try to fly out for that. So looking forward to it.
I was kind of sad I missed it, but I was at the same time, I was like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of stacks. I don't really want to go to that. But I'm glad it was fun. It ended up being awesome.
It was fun, and none of the stacks decks got into the top 4.
Really?
No. So
okay, good.
So Ken had he was seat 1 and 1 turn 3. So on my turn 2, I lost the game.
Turn 3, wow.
Yeah, but it was also I think like a 2-hour game, so it was he was flubbing.
You didn't get a turn 3.
No.
He took that. His turn was that long.
He was flubbing. So I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll show real quick. I said earlier creativity was important, and I plagiarized Freedom Waffles deck. I tried to build Secret Kinnan, and it just did not go well. I kept playtesting it against the Turbo Flubs that we knew people would be borrowing. And I just couldn't keep up. I was like, if I'm playing 3 of these decks, I'm going to lose. So people can see the differences here. This is the Turbo Fools list at the top, the cards that we're taking out. I will say of these, the biggest regret was Walking Ballista.
Okay.
And Sensei's Top. I think those 2 should have stayed.
Sensei's Top seems pretty relevant.
It did become relevant because other players were seeing what was on top and moving 0 drops to the top. So that they could, continue or value pieces to the top. That way they could get those down first. And so that was good. And then the list still ran Squee Food Chain and then no Walking Ballista. And there was one like awkward point where my Underworld Breach got exiled. And then I couldn't win because I wound up being able to win, but it was very hard because my immediate win would have been Walking Ballista
Ballista for 1 million.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
instead I had to like go this long convoluted way of getting my Cloud of Fairies, infinite mana, then casting Finale, and it took a lot. It was a little awkward, like probably because I've not played the deck, but yeah, in that moment I was like, oh, if I just had a Ballista, this would be so easy.
It's very interesting too, because again, you can't really, like you said, you playtested a little bit, I think, but it wasn't like you could really get reps in anywhere else.
This was like 3 hours of prep. And then I eventually just asked Evan, I said, hey, can I see the list that you made? Because we have, I think, similar play styles. And so it was like, yeah, here you go. And then I did make like 2 changes, I think, but this is essentially the list. But yeah, running like light interaction, Pyroblast, Chain of Vapor. The Pyroblast was like super significant in terms of like getting rid of other flubs. The spice for this tournament was the Submerge. That was all Evan's idea, but once I saw it, I was like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And then
that's pretty funny too.
Yeah, and then
you can like force them to flub it and draw their own commander with it, like with the trigger on the stack or something.
And then they just draw flubs. Yeah. It's I had to do that to somebody. Funny enough, I made second, and Evan, unfortunately, I think went 1 and 3. So the deck did not treat the creator as well, unfortunately. But yeah, for me, I just kept drawing this. I just kept drawing it. I was like, all right, I think I had like a turn 1 fish almost every game. I think I mulled the 4 like 2 of those
In
games.
this pod, in
Yeah.
this like composition, that's so good.
It's so good. And
They're just like, oh, I'll cast 7 spells. You'll draw 7 cards. I don't know. Good
I
luck.
think I paid 6 for a fish, and a guy told me he had never
Oh
seen
my
somebody pay
God.
for a fish that long. And I went, I'm not ready to flubs yet. Just
You're-
kept paying.
You've never played against Jason Dell if you haven't seen a fish on 6.
Yep, keep that thing alive.
Those who know. Those who know.
Yep, if you know, you know. And then Dramatic Reversal was huge. I don't know why that's not in the
Yep.
original list. Can steal the Dramatic Reversal tech. It was huge. It saved me twice.
That seems really relevant.
Yeah, it was super relevant. Obviously, like my engine had to keep going, but it was starting to get to the point where it was
Still.
like, oh, this is tight. Mana's getting tight, and then Dramatic Reversal untap everything. It was like, oh,
Because you also would just draw if you're flubbing,
Yeah.
and if you're not, you're just like, okay, untap 5 mana for 2 mana. Seems
yep,
great.
exactly. And then Earthcraft in the deck, you just untap all those creatures again. It was huge. But yeah, really fun. Cool. But yeah, was happy to go out and represent the basics crew. So
Hell yeah. It even looks like they updated it for Dragon Tarkir. There's a Nature's Rhythm in there,
is there
which is funny.
Is there?
Yeah, the top.
top one? Shout out Nature's Rhythm. That was not in the deck list, so I don't know what was cut.
No.
Yeah, just
But since then, probably like a card or two different. Not
probably.
much.
Yeah. So I just pulled this list.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. I'm going to move to the band.
Congratulations once more.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. I think for some reason my ELO went up like 60 from that tournament. I know.
Good win rate, buddy. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, but it was funny because I was like, off a Flubs tournament? That's wild.
All right.
But
Unbans and bans in Commander.
all right, I'm going to.
What do we think?
I am going to start this off with. Please educate me in the comments. My only banning that I have been through, and probably a lot of other people, are Dockside Extortionist, Nadu, Jewel Lotus, and Mana Crypt. The rest of these were banned before I started playing, I'm almost certain. So I'm going to say some stuff that is probably not true or doesn't make sense. And so if I'm wrong, please educate me, because I have the mindset of if I don't see a problem, unban it. And a lot of my other friends have told me with some of these cards, like, you can't unban that, you unlock this. And then I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I have never played that. So yeah, let's get into
I think a lot of them are actually not self-explanatory, but we'll go through and talk about them.
Yeah. Starting off first, Braids, Cabal Minion. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, land. I don't know if I need to read all of these, but the big ones I will.
It just promoted not fun playstyles. I think that was.
The biggest
Kinda like you
thing.
said, like, eh.
I don't know. In CDH, I think it could be an unban. Losing one thing, I don't think would alter the game
No.
tremendously.
This card would never see play, but I think it was mostly like as a commander when people were just like, sack all your stuff tribal. Oh my gosh, ha ha ha! It's super funny, and that was like pretty like egregious in casuals.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we have the bracket system, I think that it's really easy to maybe start banning stuff in other brackets.
Yeah. Or as commander, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So that makes sense. Dockside, I don't think we need to talk about it. Just free him. He did nothing wrong. I was the one.
Why was this card banned?
I was the one that
What?
abused it. I apologize. I won't do it again. I promise. I can.
Everyone did it. Don't worry. It wasn't just you. Did
I
it.
can be trusted. Yeah, I think it stays banned. As much as
I think it needs to.
I want it back. It's just the diversity of decks that I've seen. Yes, most of them are roughly the same, but I feel like just as a player in a tournament grinder, it's unlocked a lot of decks that I would not be seeing if Dockside was unbanned, and I don't think that that's right.
I agree.
Emrakul, unban this.
So this was kind of stupid. I think the biggest thing is like it's got so much protection and flying was probably the issue when it was banned. Not necessarily the extra turn. The extra turn is a 15 mana, right? You're getting it whatever. But some of the Annihilator spells, at least in casual, are like very, very oppressive. So it's like, this one is massive. It has protection. It has flying. It is a 15/15, and you sack 6 permanents.
6 permanents.
Like, I kind of get it. Yeah, and it can't be countered. Like, there's so many things that this text.
Yeah.
It's probably, like, unfun.
Yeah, Reanimator stuff just makes this one not feasible.
Right.
You can Entomb reanimate this, turn 1 or 2. I don't think we can unban this.
No.
It would just ruin gameplay. This card I'm not very familiar with. Why are we upside down?
Basically, the flip says, like, I believe it's the first spell you would play each turn is countered. Yeah, counter the first spell played by each opponent each turn.
Ooh.
So it's not like all 3 opponents, if one of them casts a spell, then the next one's uncountered. It's when I cast a spell on my turn, or your turn, or their turn, I have to cast a second spell, or yours don't count either. Like, it's very oppressive. It's 2 mana as a commander.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Way too much. Yeah.
All right, you're staying in the jail.
I don't think it needs to unban. It's dead. So.
GOLOS. I've heard a lot of talk about GOLOS.
Man.
Keep banned.
I don't know. It's an infinite mana outlet is the biggest thing, right? You just pay mana into it, and then you get every card for free, including lands, including whatever you want. You just Thoracle after. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty good, but you're in 5 color. You're 5 mana. If the thing didn't search for a land into play tapped, I'd say it's way worse. But it's any land into play tapped. I think it could be unbanned.
I would argue.
I don't think it'd be the most egregious thing ever.
It's almost, and I'm saying almost, like a worse Thrasios, right? Because it's 5 mana. Like, ignore pips. It's 5 mana. ETB, you get a tapped land. It's not like on attack trigger 2, and then you have to pay Wooburg and 2 into it. I mean, I think it could be unbanned for sure. Correct.
The biggest thing is definitely the outlet. But again, it's 5 color outlet. It's not like it's like colorless outlet like Thrasios is, right? So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess, there's arguments to be made about the playing them without paying the cost. I don't know. I'm sure people have learned to abuse that, and that's probably why.
7?
It's probably why he's in jail.
For 7?
For 7. Yeah, I don't know. Tell us in the comments what you think on that one. I'm gonna say 50-50. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. It seems good and it seems bad. Griselbrand.
Yeah. Nope. Stay banned.
We don't need to talk about it.
Life. Nope.
Hullbreacher.
Nope.
If Hullbreacher becomes unbanned, I will stop playing this game. I think I don't know what I would do if all of my draw engines were turned into your treasures. I think I would cry.
I think because wheels exist, like, you can't really unban it. It was my thing, right?
Yep.
But so is Bowmaster's printed, and Bowmaster just kills someone when it's wheeled. So I don't know. If it was a source you control, you draw a card except the first one. I understand it. Totally unban it. But because it's any card except the first return, I think it just needs to stay banned. It's just too abusable.
Yeah.
You get, like,
I agree.
tons of cool effects that just steal everyone's entire hands, and now they have nothing, and you have a bunch of treasures. It's too good.
Yep. Stay in jail. This cannot come out. Iona, Shield of Emira.
Iona. See, I am no casual player, but this is 9 mana for a 7/7 flyer. You pick one color, and they can't cast that color.
I don't know either.
It's obviously very oppressive and casual, but, like, totally fine in C. So I think the biggest play pattern with it was like, well, if your opponent's playing a monocolor deck and you just name that color, they can't do anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But besides that, it's like, whatever. It's 9 mana.
It is 9 mana.
What?
I don't know. Just I already get angry enough when, like, a Magus of the Moon gets played. I don't think I want to just not be able to cast any spells either. Like,
what, you can't cast blue spells? You can't cast your Kinnan? It's okay.
Like, sorry,
okay.
Magus, I'm naming red. Good luck. Hope you find your wondering.
07, dude. 07.
So, yeah, I don't know about that one either. I think it stays banned. That seems so it just seems like an unnecessary card. Not being able to cast spells at all.
It's just fun.
Yeah. Leovold.
Leovold's fucked. It's kind of like Hullbreacher, but on 3 colors and as a commander. So Hullbreacher can't be a commander, obviously. And you draw cards when things you control, or I think you or spells, or you or permanents you control.
Yeah.
Spell or ability. That's like so good. You get a card draw. It is a 3/3 for 3, and your opponents can draw extra cards. So when you wheel them, they're just shit out of luck. They get one card. Right?
Yep.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's similar to thing to Hullbreacher. I don't think you can unban it.
I agree. I don't think this comes off the ban list.
And then Sisse would be absurdly broken immediately.
Yep.
Immediately.
I guess I lied earlier.
Nah.
Lutri, the spell chaser, was immediately Lutri, sorry, was immediately banned. Like when I like maybe a couple months into me playing. So yeah,
the second is, well, I guess it was, sorry, before the card came out, it was banned in Commander.
Yep, exactly.
Because they knew this was going to be dumb. Obviously, unless you're playing multiple basic lands, you have to already have Singleton.
Yep.
It was just a free dual caster in the command zone, which is so.
Yeah, I mean, everybody is going to be running this card if you're in those colors. Like if you're immediately going to run this card. Everybody's going to have the same. I think this would have altered deck building very similar to Dockside. A lot of people complained about Dockside being changing the way the decks were built. Everybody was building around it. I think this would have been similar. So
I don't say this. I'm not gonna say this for all of them, but in no ban list Commander, either games or formats or when people play it, every single deck, like 99% of them have Lutri in the companion zone. It's just free.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't hurt. Very absurd.
Can we just get a moment of silence for Nadu?
Free my boy.
Can we just get
free my boy?
Oh, this one hurt. I think the weekend before it was banned, I had officially got every card like real to play this deck.
Free my boy.
And then the hammer dropped. Yeah, I think this can come off the ban list because let's be real.
It can.
It promotes an unfun play pattern, but I don't think I ever sat against a Nadu and was more, I'm saying pre-ban, was more afraid of it than a Dockside before like turn 3. I understand that this deck can snowball and it's hard to interact with and whatnot, but I think that at the point that it was banned, I think it was because it was unfun, not because it was completely warping our format. Could be wrong. I don't remember data on this deck, but I had a blast playing it. I think once you learn the lines, you could play the deck quickly. When this first came out, a lot of people played the deck slowly, and it was just like a lot of waiting on people's turns, solitaire. But
it was such an issue in casual that their sins got banned for it, and that sucks. I know people always complained about it, and will still complain about it now, and I think that's fair because again, some people aren't going to be as proficient or whatever. But it's the same thing with a Dockside pilot, right?
Yep.
Like, if the Dockside pilot doesn't know their lines, they're gonna take forever. They're gonna durdle and sit there for 20 minutes and take time to get there. So it's like the same thing. But you're also restricted to 2 colors, which is Simic, which aren't necessarily the best colors.
Yep.
They're good for like value engines, but not for win cons. Like you have Finale and like what else? I think it's totally fine. Again, and I think you're saying earlier with the bracket system, just ban it in anything 4 or less.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
I agree with you. I think this could come off the ban list, and I would not be upset. So I understand if
I don't think it will, but I want it to.
Yeah, I want it to as well. So Primeval Titan. I recently
unban it.
A friend told me that this could not come off the ban list, and I said I don't see any problems with why not.
It's fine.
I think it's fine too.
It's 6 mana. You get 2 lands tapped. Obviously, the lands can be good, and you can be on amulet type effects. But like, it's mana sink. You can't have as a commander. You can't. I don't know. I think it's fine.
I think it's fine too.
The only deck that I would see play right now and see is like Lumra. Nothing else. It's tapped lands.
Profit? I can't even say this. How do you
Profit of Kruphix?
Okay.
Yeah. This card's fucking good.
It's so good.
My friend.
I do not think this card needs to be banned though. Hear me out. Seedborn Muse untaps all permanents, including your artifacts.
Yeah.
This is only creatures and lands, and then you can cast creature cards as though they have flash. I understand.
To be fair, it would be another flash enabler in the format.
Absolutely.
Technically
it would.
Even though it doesn't have flash. But
it only gives creature cards flash too, which like if you're going to play a Valley Floodcaller anyways. Like you already have flash on that, so I don't know. I think it would spice the game up. I think it'd be fun.
It's a 2-color Seedborn Muse. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You already have to answer Seedborn Muse, but we're not banning that card because it's good, but it's not. It's not winning the game immediately or every time it's cast, right? So it's like, yeah, you can deal with it, you can remove it, you can bounce it, whatever. It'll be fine. It's the same with Prophet.
Yep.
It's also smaller. It's a 2/3 compared to a 2/4. I think you can unban it.
I agree. Letter, free Prophet. All right. Rofellos, Llanowar,
Rofellos,
a missionary. Add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each forest you control.
I think you can unban it. Yeah, it is legendary, notably. It says off legend, so it's a little harder to see.
I don't know.
But it's fine. Yavi Maya makes it really good, but it's mono green if you're playing as commander.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of mana if not. It's 2 pips. It's a 2/1. Dies to Bowmasters right now.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, it could probably be unbanned. Sundering Titan. I think this was one of those bans that was just not a fun play pattern for casual.
Yeah. Especially when Flash was legal.
Yep.
Most especially when Flash was legal, because it's an ETB and a leave the battlefield because it dies. So you'd blow up 2 types of lands, basic lands types, and just like fuck people for 2 mana. Like that was so dumb.
Yep.
This card is stupid. Casually, it's terribly annoying. I think it can stay banned for their sins.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I agree. Sylvan Primordial.
I don't think I've ever read this one. Destroy target non-land permanent that player controls. For each permanent destroyed, they can find a forest and put it into play tapped. Okay.
I want to know what you guys did to this to get it banned. Please tell me.
Yeah, this seems kind of reasonable. It's, again, 7 mana. At least the Sundering Titan blows up, like, all lands. That's, like, mass land.
I'm just assuming that there has been war crimes committed for all of these things. And this has had to have been a war crime to be banned. Because I'm like, this is one of those rares that you pull out of a pack now and you're just like, not this one.
4% rare.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think this is fine. Unban it.
It's 7 mana.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbanned. If you know the war crime.
Gotta stay banned.
Yep. Balance stays banned.
Balance has to stay banned.
Biorhythm.
This card's insane in every other format it's legal. Just keep it banned.
Biorhythm.
Hear me out. Hear me out. It's 8 mana. Most people have a creature, so you generally will be alive after it resolves.
Okay.
I think you can unban it. I think it's fine.
I don't know. I think it's just not. I don't know. I feel like 8 mana turn 3, everybody's life becomes 2 is just a wild play pattern for Commander. I think that
the World Fire exists and is legal.
That is true. Maybe nobody plays this card.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, nobody plays this card.
I don't think they do.
Yeah. All right.
Like, what C deck would see play with this, right?
I'm trying to think. Maybe Rockthras. They could make enough mana to cast this and they have enough creatures.
I'm not risking that. 8? No.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm just playing Hullbreacher at that point, and I don't want to play Hullbreacher.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think it could be unbanned. I will say I'm neutral on this card. I feel like I can picture the war crimes created with that one. Channel.
Holy. Turn 1 channel an Emrakul or whatever, Portal to Phyrexia or something stupid. You don't need 10 life, you have 40. This card's dumb.
Stays banned.
Very dumb.
Stays banned.
Stay banned.
Yep.
Get out of here.
Coalition victory.
Unbanned.
I want to know who beat Sheldon with this card that it deserved to be banned this quickly. Because, I think
maybe when it was older, it's like...
Maybe?
It's harder to win games back then, right? So it's like, okay, you have all land types, which is hard to do, and 5 permanent colors, but you're paying 8 mana for a sorcery.
8 mana.
If it resolves, it's like you should get the game anyways, I think.
I agree.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Fine. You need 5 basic land types of each. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of like the fastest way you could win with this, and like my brain keeps going to like turn 4, because you need to have every basic land type out.
Well, we have the new ley line of the guild pact,
True. Yeah, actually true. So
but I don't think
I
that
don't think it
matters.
does. I think
don't
it's.
that
I think
changes
this is unbanned. Easy.
anything.
Man,
What?
that is.
Oh, this is the flip one. Yeah, this one stays banned because it's
Yep.
stupid. It's a flip a card. Yeah. Same with
Yep.
Shahrazad.
Stays banned. Swear the stars. Each player shuffles his or her hand, graveyard, or permanents into their library, then draws. Is this just the game restarts and your life becomes 7? Is that? Am I understanding
It's
this?
just Shahrazad 2, kind of. But it's all permanents.
Yeah.
So all lands, all creatures, like everything. It's Time Twister plus Shahrazad, but it's 10 mana.
Yeah.
I think it could stay banned because it literally restarts the game.
That's the only thing I'm thinking is like,
It's 10 mana.
I don't know. I think that might break gameplay though. Because like if you're gonna pay 10 mana, win the game. Like why are we restarting?
Exactly.
Like, why?
I think that's the issue with casual too.
Why?
It's like you're not winning the
No,
game.
yeah, let's just restart, guys, and your lives become 7. Like, no,
Yeah.
it stays banned.
So dumb.
If it becomes unbanned and I catch you playing this, I will not talk to you.
That's a good stat. It stays banned. 2 mana extra turn.
Yep,
Yeah, no.
stays
no,
banned.
It's power. No need to say about that.
Tinker.
Tinker is fucked. I don't think we can unban this card. I want it to be unbanned. But it wins the game.
As a kitten player, I want this to be unbanned. So bad.
But no, because then Arkham would run wild.
Yeah.
Or even more wild.
Yep, I agree. Trade
I think it's
secrets.
too
Target opponent draws 2 cards. You draw up to 4 cards. That opponent may reveal this process. Repeat this process as many
good.
times.
Or repeat, yeah. I think
This is Con Sphinx.
I think it's fine. It's oh god, this and Con Sphinx. Holy crap. The fact that it forces them to draw the first 2, I think is pretty absurd. Also that you get to draw immediately 4 for 3 mana is really good. But you guys can be like in an agreement, like you and an opponent be like, hey, I'll let you draw 2 cards and more.
Yeah.
If you let me draw like 6, you know what I mean? Like that's pretty stupid.
Yep.
You guys like gang up on people. And I think in 1v1 it's fine, right? Like you're letting your one opponent do something, but because there's 4 people, it's like, I don't know. I'll draw 20, you draw 16. That seems stupid.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like the colluding could kind of get out of control with this, as you said. You know,
Yeah.
like,
That'd
hey,
be my only real concern.
let's each, you know, you're in a round 7 pod and somebody casts
God.
this of the 2 players that want to draw and they have their decks in their hand. Like
So stupid.
I don't know. I think this stays banned.
Yeah, same.
Upheaval stays banned. I understand it's a sorcery.
It's all permanents.
Yeah, I understand it's a
Yeah.
sorcery. We already have Cyclonic Rift. That's an instant for 1 more. I think that's good enough. Like, it's just...
Cyclonic Rift just doesn't hit lands is the biggest thing. If it didn't restart the entire game, I think it's fine.
Yep.
But it literally restarts the entire game.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
Stay banned.
dumb.
Ancestral
Recall
Recall?
is dumb. Ban. Super ban.
Unban it.
No unban.
I won't... I promise
Stop
I
it.
won't do anything wrong with
No.
it. Please.
No.
Flash. I did not play... Did you play in the Flash meta? 'Cause I did not.
Very briefly.
Dude, I have
and it
heard
was still
horror
an
stories
issue.
of this card. Like...
Yeah. I think it needs to stay banned for a few reasons. Mainly now, Dockside being banned helps, but there's too many like crazy play patterns of like, I'll pay 2 mana my Atali ETB at flash speed. It's like, oh, or Atraxa ETB at flash speed. Like there are decks in like legacy and vintage formats like that who will abuse things like this, and that's their whole game plan because it's so good. It's however you're reanimating or doing this effect. You're paying 2 for a 7 mana spell or creature or whatever, and it's so good. I don't think it needs to be unbanned by any means. It's so bad. So
Yep.
I hate
Stay
it.
banned. Gifts Ungiven.
Get out of here.
I don't...
This one's pretty interesting.
I think it's interesting because like I've thought about it a couple times. This is actually a card that like I've looked at a few times. It seems like a better intuition, but it's also 4 mana.
It's better intuition in the sense that you get 2 cards in grave, which is a lot better for you most of the time. Because the whole part of intuition is that your piles or whatever you're doing is like I want at least one of them in my graveyard so I can get the other stuff back and then do it again. Generally Underworld Breach, but whatever.
Yeah.
And this makes it more efficient. It makes it better. You get 4 things. Maybe your Pact is in your pile too now, and you're like, okay, cool. Give me Pacted something, and then I'll win. I don't think it matters that it's one more. We already have Intuition, and that card's good, but not win the game good. So I think this is okay. I don't know.
You're saying stay ban?
I think it's 50-50. 50-50.
Black Lotus.
All the power, let's just say, okay, all Mox and Black Lotus obviously need to be banned. That's stupid. Regardless of that, and I guess, sorry, and Chaos Orb, which is like flipping a card, that's also dumb. And
you don't want to play Frisbee with your cards?
No, I don't want to flip my $1,200 Chaos Orb in the air and see what it destroys. I don't even know how it's worded.
Yeah.
No, God.
Jeweled Lotus.
The 2 controversial ones, though.
I think these both for sure come off the ban list. I think that this is what started the entire cEDH ban drama, everything, the disband of the commander committee. I think that these get unbanned. 2 reasons. One is money. I think Wizards of the Coast absolutely is cognizant of what they ban, that they need to be able to reprint, if that makes sense. I don't think it's 100% of their decision making, but I think it definitely plays into it. You print a card called Jeweled Lotus, you put it as the chase in your Commander Masters packs. You need to sell that product. There's still product out there to sell. And then you ban that product.
In this one format played card.
Yep.
I don't care about doubling cube. That doesn't really count.
Exactly.
Whatever. But, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Jeweled Lotus for sure comes off. I think that it's absolutely a game changer card. I think that list is perfect. This would fit right in the game changers list. I think this is a perfect card for that. I think it comes off the ban list almost, for sure. They can print more commander packs with these in them in the future. It's a win-win for everybody, and I think that this comes off.
I agree. Again, it's literally the only place you really play it. It's stupid to have it banned. Why would you make it in the first place? Just if it was a design mistake, you would have banned it years and years ago, but it wasn't. So you didn't ban it years ago. So whatever.
I don't.
Crypt, on the other hand, I kind of could see staying banned because it's pretty stupid. It's free 2 mana. It's a better Soul Ring. Like the 3 life doesn't matter. But I still think it should probably be unbanned to turbo up the format a little bit. Try and force some draws to not be draws.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree. Also, and this goes back to the money comment. People can argue with me in the comments if they don't agree. Everything they do is with a blind eye of money at Wizards of the Coast. But I think this is like, of the reprints, I think that they could reprint that's not on the reserve list. This is like top of the list, right? Like Lost Caverns of Ixalan. I mean, those commander packs flew off the shelf.
They still are selling every day very well.
Yep. I don't think that this needs to stay on the ban list. One, for playstyle. You can, like we said, you can restrict cards in brackets. Like, not even on the Game Changer, just restrict them. Restrict this after bracket 4. Let bracket 5 have this. And then you can still print this card, have your, pinnacle of the set, and still make everybody happy. So
I think so. I think you're right.
We skipping the Moxes?
Yeah, same thing with or Black Lotus. No.
Yep, I agree. Those can't come off.
No. So Panoptic Mirror is a kind of interesting one. It's imprint X and tap. You may remove an instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost X from your hand from the game. Beginning of your upkeep, you may copy the imprinted instant or sorcery and play it. The biggest thing with this, I believe, when it was banned, was extra turn spells. So you put a 5 mana extra turn spell under it, and then you pay 5 in your upkeep to have another infinite extra turn. Yeah. Which is good, obviously, but hard to set up because it is Elf as a 5-drop. You have to do it only in your upkeep. I don't know.
I think this can come off. I mean, if there was a war crime committed, somebody educate me, but I think this is probably fine.
It's expensive and kind of interesting. I don't think enough to be banned though.
Paradox Engine. That thing needs to be locked
Engine
up.
can stay banned.
I don't think it's locked up tight
Yeah,
enough. That and
fuck
Flash
this.
needs to be in a maximum security. This is broken. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
this is
Imagine how good Song of Creation already is, but like better.
yeah, way better.
I don't know.
If they unban this so Mana Crypt, they unban it, everybody plays it as, value ramp. If they unban this is a win con that everyone is going to play in almost every single deck.
Yep. Think about how good Kinnan is with this. Bro.
Yeah, trust me, as a Kinnan pilot, I want this unbanned, and it should not.
I get a free flip anytime I cast any spell, like
Yep.
or 2 or whatever. I untap my One Ring 6 times, like oh.
Yeah,
This one One Ring. Oh yeah, you definitely can with One Ring.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
This
no.
gets unbanned. Invest in 0 drops immediately. Don't invest in this card. Invest in every 0 drop that's been printed because everyone's gonna play them.
Yep. Oh my god.
Time Vault.
Same thing. Time Vault.
Yep.
Dumbest card ever. Extra turn on a stick. Have a key. You win the game.
Yep.
Get that out of here. Stay
Out of here. Fastbond. I think it's unbanned.
I don't know. I think it could be, but the issue is like there's a lot of good combos with it of just like you can play a land from your graveyard and it's cheap effect. It's 1 mana enchantment, stays around. The things that say you can get your lands back aren't that expensive, so it's like well, whenever a land enters, I gain a life, or you lose a life, or whatever. So
yeah, I think it's just hard to combo.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know
It
the
is hard to
combos,
combo.
but like you kill yourself, from my understanding, by trying to combo with this card out because every time the lands enter, you lose life for each of them. I think it is busted for sure.
It's very good, very good. God, if this isn't a 1-drop, I think it's totally fine. I think it's 50-50 of like you can or you couldn't, like whatever. My real worry is that it's just 1 mana and it's just so good. And there were definitely play patterns when it was legal that were like crap out 4 lands, cast my commander, do some more stuff, pass, and you just play a land and pass. It's like
Yeah.
oh.
I think people were
I don't
playing
know.
Burgeoning, like trying to play something similar to this.
I was playing Virgin.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe somebody who's... I guess what's your experience with that? Like, do you think that this would be broken compared to your playtesting?
The thing with Burgeoning that's different, though, is an opponent has to play a land. This, I could just go on my turn, play a land, play this, drop 4 more lands from my hand. My commander draws cards, so now I just kind of win because I have 5 mana turn 2.
Sure, yeah.
And my commander out. Like, that's different playstyle, but similar effect.
All right.
So I think it's... I do think it's good, but it's 50-50.
Yeah, I can see that. I think you've made me go more towards maybe it should stay banned.
I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't around with it, but, like, it seems pretty good.
Limited resources. Whenever
This one's stupid.
comes into play, each player chooses 5 lands, and he or she controls and sacrifices the rest. As long as there are 10 or more lands in play, players cannot play lands. Like 10
stupid.
total?
Yeah. So if you have 10 lands, your opponents can't have any.
Okay, yeah. Like why did we need to print
It's
this
a
card?
1-drop.
Like this
It's a
this
1-drop.
card
It
was
doesn't
not
need to-
intended for a 4-person match. Yeah, that can stay
Stay
banned.
banned. Stay banned.
Recurring Nightmare, sack, return to understand.
It unfortunately needs to stay banned. It's like we've seen Chthonian Nightmare in C. Obviously, that was with Dockside, and it was insane. Right?
Yep.
It doesn't see much play anymore because it's way worse than Recurring Nightmare is. But this card is very good. You have loops with many different things, regardless of your colors or how you're doing it. But like, I can't do this. This card's very good. I don't know.
All right.
It seems stupid.
Probably
but
stays
I don't think it needs to be unbanned. I think so.
Yawgmoth's bargain.
This is an interesting one.
It is.
This is a
So this is I've debated with this, right? Because the argument is it's necropotence for double the mana, right? The only difference is that those cards go straight into your hand, not into your hand at your end step.
Yeah.
I don't think 3 extra mana is worth that effect. I just don't. I think it's too busted. I think there's enough rituals in black. You can probably cast this like turn 2 with a Rockside deck.
Absolutely.
I don't think this needs to be unbanned. It's just that
I agree.
drawing it instantly is just too much.
It's very good, very very absurd, and like, oh well, I have this bowmaster. I'm like, I'll just do it 5 more times on top.
Okay.
Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, I'll just keep doing it, and like I'll do one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, like whatever.
Yep.
This card's really good. The only real thing, like I said, like you said, is like 6 mana. But I think you're right that black has enough rituals that it can kind of crap it out fast.
Yeah.
I think it can just stay banned. It maybe would teeter a little more, but I don't think it's 50-50. I think it could just stay banned.
Yeah, I agree. Library of Alexandria.
Library is a good card. Period.
Yeah.
I think it's fine in cEDH, like or even just like maybe bracket 4 too. It's more that it's card draw on a land, but it's not as easy to do in C because like you're doing so many other things. You want cards out of your hand. You want to be gaining resources and mana, right? So it's like, I think it's fine.
I think it's fine. I think you can become unbanned.
You have to have exactly 7 in hand, so it's not like it's easy to always have.
Yep.
I don't know.
Tolarian Academy.
Stay banned. Good God, stay banned. Holy fuck. This might be the best land ever printed, period. This or Workshop, I think, are the only 2 lands that are, like, the best land,
Yeah.
period. Maybe Cradle, and maybe Library, but, like, besides that, this is just the best land ever printed.
Yeah, I read this once and was like, as a new player thinking of the war crimes I could commit with this card.
Absolutely.
So, and like
you have so many 0 mana artifacts in the world that exist.
Yeah.
Like any of them.
Yep.
You could just go 7
It's not
mana
hard to
turn
break.
1, do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's
so
not
stupid.
hard to break. And then we have Caracas.
Stay banned.
Stay banned.
Super stay banned. Bounce any commander whenever you want for free, and it also taps for white and untapped. Too broken.
Yep, I agree.
Too good.
Too busted.
I think is that all?
That's all of them. We have gone through
Okay, cool.
the whole list. So it'll be interesting to see
sick.
if everybody's not aware. They did announce, probably should have started with this, but they did announce that in the bracket announcement, there's not going to be any unbans to start, or there's not going to be any bans to start. There's only going to be unbans, and those will be announced at the end of April. So at the end of April, we should have a ban announcement or an unban announcement. And yeah, we'll be able to go crazy. And then I think from there, they're going to remold the ban list to kind of see like what's the problem. Because if we just start from scratch, and I think that's kind of their goal, is like the absolute cannot unbans are going to stay that way. And then the GOLOSes, I could be wrong, but like the GOLOSes, the Braids, they're going to divide those by the brackets, and then they're just going to release them to bracket 5 indefinitely. So, and then they'll probably make announcements after that, rebanning these cards or other cards that Wizards sees as the problem. So I think that'll be cool. I think they're going to have to start paying more attention to cEDH if this happens. So I'm excited for that. So,
but again, we could have a separate like cEDH ban list and then bracket 4 and below ban list, and I think that's also fine.
Yeah.
Because if you have a cEDH committee or whatever you want to call it, it's like we're in a different format. They're now saying that, right? So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yep, I agree. I guess the next thing that we will get into is our upcoming tournament, the Heisenberg. Being put on by our good friend of the channel, Evan Freedom Waffle. He's not putting it on; he is supporting it.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah,
a Tavern of Souls is the LGS
correct.
that is running.
Yep. Man, I am just misspeaking all over. So, hosted by Tavern of Souls Gaming. Evan is just promoting it, but it is his LGS. He's very proud of it. I think this is going to be awesome. I'm so excited. The amount of work that has been put into this tournament is just crazy.
Yep.
It's going to be 200.
They want to do it right.
Yep, 200 people, proxy friendly, 10K prize pool. This is the playmat. I am not a Breaking Bad fan.
So pretty.
I've not ever watched it, and please let me know in the comments if I should.
Roast Jonah in the comments for not watching Breaking Bad.
I'm not educated on the Breaking Bad lore, but this art is amazing. I know enough. I've seen enough stuff with Breaking Bad. This is Walter, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Walt White.
Yep. and
Still the white.
Dockside and the RV in the back. This is a cool mat. Event details. Get on here, read it through everything. I think one of the coolest things with this is the fact that down here there's a travel guide.
Yes, there it is. Okay, cool.
There's a sweet travel
Evan
guide.
made this very nice travel guide.
It's so cool. I mean, the amount of detail that's put into this. That's why I'm excited for this tournament. Is just, I think the level of detail and how, you know, how much thought they've put into it. I'm excited to see how the event goes. So yeah, you can see that you can meet MTG Basics. So Joseph and I will both be there. But yeah,
that's me and you.
Yeah, that's us. You can come stomp us. You can.
I hope not, but potentially stomp us.
But yeah, this is really cool. So sign up. As of recording, there's 138 seats left. I don't think that that's going to stay. I think it's going to be similar to Snowy Summit, where those are going to sell out very quickly, and then there's going to be a long wait list of people trying to get in. So if you have not, get in here April 19th and 20th. Sign up. Hope to see you guys there. Moving on. Let's go back to the draw problem. So
we got a big problem.
Big post here that was shared with me. I do not know the original poster, Jerry. Joseph, I don't think you do either. But
thank you for the information.
Yeah, thank you. This is great. Compiled this info from EDH Top 16. And just every game post-ban they looked at, and 7,602 games, and they just took win percentages. So reading through here is a little depressing. I'm not going to lie. Seat 1 is 25% win percentage. Let's try to zoom in here more for the people watching. 19% win percentage for seat 2, 17 for seat 3, 13.8% for seat 4. And then draw percentage was 24.66, so almost 25. So you have a better chance, if you don't go first, of drawing your game than you do of winning. So I sit down, I start shuffling my deck. If I'm seat 4, I have almost double the odds of drawing that game than I do of winning. Just statistically, right?
Statistically, yeah.
That is wild to me. I mean, that almost screams that it needs to be fixed, right? And I don't think
something needs to change for sure.
I don't even know if that's a draw thing. I think that's a seed order thing.
Maybe how seat 4 gets an advantage or something to boost them back, or how seat 1 doesn't get an advantage or something like that. But just going first in a 4-player format, you'll always be at an advantage no matter what.
I just didn't expect it to be that big, and the draw being you have a 50-50 chance statistically of seat 1 winning or you drawing that game, and that is wild to me. I think draws do need to stop. I am a habitual drawer. I think I'm very good at getting into situations where I realize I can't win the game, and then I start pressuring that game into a draw. Politically. And I do that because 1 point is better than none, but it is still not a fun play pattern. So I think that it needs to be fixed. So. Yeah, I think, though, people have suggested the Japan's cEDH. System. Yep, the Japanese system. This is a really interesting read about a cEDH tournament that happened in Japan and their point system that they play. The God of Commander
tournament. To my knowledge, this is how most Japanese tournaments work and how their system works. It's maybe not all of them. I'm not 100% sure because obviously I'm not over there. But yeah, you start with 1,000 points. Winning a pod, you take not necessarily that percentage, but a percentage of your opponent's points that they wager. Same with you. You wager a percentage of your points, right? Draws are considered a loss. Everyone just loses all your points. You're just screwed. So that's kind of dumb. I don't necessarily like that. But when time is called, you have 10 minutes of play until stack is passed, and then a draw is declared. So someone has to win, or there's a draw.
Again, and if there's a draw, everyone loses.
All lose.
Yeah. It's not like you guys keep your points, and it's just 0, null, and void. It's just the same as a loss.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I think
which
I think that in general just immediately gives me like the chills.
Bad
the bad
ideas.
vibes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in a pod with. I'm not saying that this would happen, but I'm in a pod with Joseph, and Joseph's at time, and I'm like, man, okay, well, or not even Joseph, just anybody. I think anybody. I would rather
someone
somebody
you were friends with, maybe.
I don't even know if a friend. It's just like if everybody's gonna lose, I'm gonna lose 7% of my points no matter what. I just don't really think I care if you win or not. You know what I mean? I think it just gives unhealthy.
Like, you're in no position to win.
Yeah,
now,
I'm
right?
just
like, you literally can't.
Like, why stop you? Like, okay, I guess yes, it makes you have less points, and so maybe I can have higher points later. But like, I don't know. That doesn't feel good. I feel like it's really easy to politic that too. Of just like, you know, you can guilt people into that. I don't like it. I
don't like it at all. If
it was like 0, like no one
there's a bunch
lost
that goes
points.
into it, but like, yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, I think that would be better.
But I disagree that this is a good idea, and a lot of people are suggesting it. Maybe if we tested it goes well, but I don't think it will. I
read through this. One of the interesting things I saw down here is because you get 7. So the matches are random. I'll go back to the top. So fully random pairings. So I can be last seed, like dead last in the tournament, and I could play seeds 1, 2, and 3 all in a pod. I mean, that's a possibility. If it's fully random, that's possible, right? Yeah. Granted, because of the point percentage stuff, if I win, sure, I get a ton of points. I probably go straight to the finals off that one pod. But that just feels weird to me.
Which is also dumb. That's also dumb, though.
Because like I don't like it. And playing the same people over and over again, like that's already annoying when that does happen. This was also interesting. So I think they're saying foreigner because they're not from Japan, but they got 36th place. They had the best record and they went 3-3. However,
3-3 isn't that bad.
The person,
well, in normal terms, it's 15 points.
Yeah,
right?
the person that placed above them was 2-4.
Yeah,
which means that they beat somebody who was seated higher, and then they got more of their points. But like, if I go to a tournament and I get into a finals pod being 2-4 because I beat one person, and then somebody who, you know, randomly got paired up with people who weren't doing well and went 5-0, like that just doesn't feel right to me.
I agree.
I don't really know if that's the answer. So I think
we'll see how it goes, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
We got one more topic.
One more topic.
A nice little I think we'll throw back to our TNT corner.
Stop screen sharing, yeah. TNT corner. So I guess let's have you kick it off. I
got some spice. I got a little bit of thought. I don't know, a lot of you might know, I've been playing a lot of Rog Thras. I've been playing very little TNT. But one thing I've been thinking about trying in TNT is the Abora Breeze Caller I've been doing in Rog Thras. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze in 1 second. Oh, no.
It's coming.
Oh, no.
Everybody mute your mics. Or mute.
Just kidding. It's fine. Abora Breeze Caller, though. And if you don't know what it says, it's a 1 in a blue for a 1/1 flyer. It has the ability of just pay to untap target land, and you have to pay a cost of also bouncing one of your lands. So what you basically can do is, if you have a Talon Gates and a Cradle, your Cradle just has to be for 5 to go even, or 6 to go mana positive. You untap your Cradle, bouncing your Talon Gates, and then you pay 4 more to put your Talon Gates back into play when you float your mana. And you can also float the mana off the Talon Gates, so you go up even more mana, and just now are netting mana for Thrasios, infinite mana.
Yep.
This card's really been very, very good in Rog Thras, and I want to try it in TNT. Because a lot of the time in TNT we have enough creatures, or close to enough creatures to where it matters. But even if it's just value, it's just untap Cradle for generally just 2 mana bounce a land, which is great. Super great.
Yeah, and it's huge because you don't
really
trigger Ristic. Like, at no point do you trigger Ristic. And I think it's huge, because there's so many times where a draw engine's out, infinite mana, like Hullbreacher Horror, you know what I mean? You're starting your Hullbreacher Horror loop.
Yep.
And the Ristic player now has 20 cards in hand, and you're like, oh no, what have I done? Versus a Boro never draws a card ever.
It just doesn't do anything else. It just like is there, and their abilities, right? So it's not like it's easy to stop, especially in cEDH and how it is.
Yep.
But I think this is pretty spicy and would do very well because it's a cheap spell too, and you can do it immediately. You don't have to tap to activate it like a Bloom Tender or a Dork or anything like that. Very spicy. I'd be interested to see what Raul thinks. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but I want to know what he thinks.
Yeah, I think that it's not probably like gonna make the deck number one. Like it's just by far, but I think it would definitely give a very good alternate to winning. In terms of like
absolutely,
winning on the stack, not drawing any cards, infinite mana. So I think it's cool.
Yeah,
it utilizes your lands.
Hard to interact with.
Yep.
Yeah. And you can still do it on top if you have enough creatures. Like, oh, you'll try and kill my thing? I'll just untap my Cradle again. I bounce my land as a cost, so I'll just keep doing it. It's like crazy.
Yep, so good. I guess any closing thoughts?
I think that's all we've got. Felt like we went over a lot. We went over a bunch of tournaments, a bunch of the bans, unbans, stuff like that. Talked about some upcoming tournaments we're going to. But yeah.
I think, last comment, MagicCon coming up. Yumi, Raul, we will be there along with some friends of the channel, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So if you see us there,
oh my gosh, yeah,
we will probably make more announcements. But if you see us there, hit us up. We should have mana tokens if we don't run out.
I've got pins. Hey, and mana tokens. Yes,
pins and mana tokens.
Anytime someone comes up to me, anytime they come up, I've got a pin for them. Like, oh my gosh, I love the channel. Whatever. Like, here you go, brother.
Yep,
this is for you. But now we have mana tokens too.
Yeah,
so that's
it's so cool, and yeah, a lot of cool things coming. Thanks for sticking with us. Let us know how you like the quality. Don't forget to drop comments on things that you should see for the future. Maybe things you liked or didn't like.
Let us know if there were any issues with the audio, video, stuff like that. I know we said at the beginning too, but just we're testing out this new format. See how
we're hoping to bring this with us. Travel, get you guys more content. So
yeah,
but
already.
Bye.